Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing my new updated 2023 gubernatorial election prediction with the three states being Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana, all of which are kind of competitive actually to a degree, with kind of the exception of Louisiana. We will get to that in a second. So let's start off with the state of Mississippi first. You know, I am a little bit tired of hearing people saying Mississippi is super competitive. It's a toss-up, everybody says. It's a toss-up. Tate Reeves may lose, actually. It's totally... It's a coin flip. Nobody knows who's going to win because the conservative Dem in the race. And sure, there is a conservative Democrat running in this race. That would be Brandon Presley, the Mississippi Public Service Commissioner for the Northern District. However, everybody says Tate Reeves is super unpopular, and he's not. Let's look up his approval rating right now just to prove it. Literally everybody I hear says Tate Reeves is super unpopular. He's a terrible governor. Nobody likes him. Look at this. Reeves has the approval of 48% of the respondents in this poll, which was, wait, that was 2022, okay. This was only a few months ago, and the new polls I think have him at a +8, so he's doing even better. He's +6 in this poll. You're calling that unpopular? How about the people whose approval are actually underwater? Like, let's say Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin has a -13 approval rating right now. I mean, look, come on. Come on, guys. This race is not that competitive. It's definitely not a toss-up by any means. Anybody who says it's a toss-up or that it's going to flip, get your head checked. I'm sorry. You don't know what you're talking about. You have not looked at this approval. Sure, it's not a good approval. I get it. It's a low poll number. 48% is not a majority. We get it. But this is in a red state of Mississippi, and it's a, you know, it's a +6, +8 approval rating. If we look at the most recent poll, I think it was a +8. It was like 41 to 49 in the most recent poll. I don't know. Anyway, this race is really not that competitive. I really hate to break it to you guys, but it's just not competitive. I'm guessing, well, it is kind of competitive because I think Presley is a really good candidate, like a conservative Democrat, similar to how Jim Hood was a good candidate. Because I think Jim Hood is also pretty conservative, if we read a little bit about him. Yeah, he remains the most recent Democrat holding statewide elected office. Let's see here. Okay, well, anyway. I've heard that Jim Hood was a really good candidate, and plus 2019 was a blue wave year. But this year is not going to be so much of a blue wave. I'm guessing it's going to be more of a red wave, like a year like in 2021, although maybe just a little bit less. So this is, I would put this as a safe state if Brandon Presley wasn't running, because I just see no way that in an R+17 state with a +8, +6 approval, the governor could possibly come to winning by less than 10 points. However, assuming Presley gets the nomination, he's a really good candidate, so we are going to be nice to him and put this at likely R. Okay. The next one we're going to look at is not Mississippi, Louisiana. Louisiana's got a lot of stuff going on. We got to talk about this. There's a lot of new developments. So for Democrats, I mean, first of all, it's safe to say this state is going to flip easily. And I mean easily. It's going to be a safe R flip. I'll just give that away right now. The real question is, who is the Republican going to be? First of all, for Democrats, we have Sean Wilson. He's the one who's formed the exploratory committee. His decision is expected pretty soon. I think he's probably going to end up running, but he is not a particularly known candidate. I don't think there's anything notable about him. If we go down to polling down here, with him running off against John Kennedy, like in the runoff polling, it has him down by like over 20 points. So I don't see him coming anywhere close to winning this race. But he's probably going to advance from the blanket primary, in which case there is going to be that runoff. The question is, who else is going to make the runoff? Well, Jeff Landry seems to be the most probable choice to make the runoff. There's also John Schroeder. He's the Louisiana State Treasurer. If we look at the jungle primary polling, though, he's not gaining that much traction. John Schroeder is only at 2%, 1% in most of these polls. So I don't think he's got the name recognition that he needs to be able to defeat Jeff Landry in the blanket primary. Sharon Hewitt, if we look here, she gets like 3%. She does even better than Schroeder somehow in this one poll. This is a Billy Nungesser internal, though, so we can't put too much into that. But Jeff Landry, most certainly the favorite in my opinion. He's got the endorsement of the main party in Louisiana. The Republicans have all endorsed him. Yeah, this is a solid R flip in my opinion. I think it's going to be Wilson versus Landry in the runoff. You could see one of these Democrats possibly work their way into this, but I don't see that happening. I also don't think Mitch Landrieu will run. I know people are thinking he might run, but he's on this list just because of name recognition alone. I don't think he's actually considering a run at all, or even hinted at that publicly. And Gary Chambers, praise God, Gary Chambers is not running. Okay, that leaves Kentucky to talk about, and this is going to be a pretty short video. Kentucky, oh boy. I just don't see Beshear losing, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Kentucky might say, oh, that's such a flippable state because Andy Beshear is a Democrat and he's in office and it's a deep red state. There's no way he can possibly hold on. But it's like, no, look at this guy's approval, guys. Look at it. It's like 59%, nearly 60%. This guy's like the John Tester of Kentucky. So I see no way this guy can lose. I mean, people are saying he's going to be the Phil Scott of Kentucky. Like they're saying, oh look, Phil Scott can win in a deep blue state by like 40 points. And it's like, well, not necessarily. Andy Beshear has always had close races. If we look at Andy Beshear's, we look at the Kentucky Attorney General election, he won by 2,000 votes. And then in the Democratic primary, actually, never mind that. The 2019 election, he won by 0.37%. So he's always won by narrow margins. And I think I might honestly drop this to tilt D, just based off of that historical trend alone. But the fact is, this guy really is quite popular, and I see him legitimately winning re-election. I just don't see him going down anytime soon. If his approval rating drops, like if he has like a 50% approval by the time the election comes, I would absolutely give this a lean R flip for the Republicans, and that's assuming the national environment looks good for them as well too. But right now, I just don't see it. I just can't imagine that's going to happen. So anyway, guys, That is my official 2023 gubernatorial election prediction. Write what you think about this crap down in the comments below. See you later. Bye.